Hello, I'm Anita Colwell. My mother was a charter member of Emmanuel Baptist Church when she was a teenager. And there are 3 living children of charter members still alive. I guess that means they're living. And but I'm the only one that's around, so I know a little bit about the history of Emmanuel. And then in 1920, the church was started on the corner of Broadway and Minnesota. It was a basement church, and we had a large basement, rather high basement is what I mean, and we then, when we could afford it, built onto the first floor. And we had 20 cement steps that went up to the sanctuary, or to the opening to the sanctuary. And I had my first Sunday school class underneath those cement steps. No windows, just cement steps. It was a first grade class. I was 16 years old, and I was so excited about teaching first graders. And Ken Morris, who was our financial secretary or treasurer now, was one of my first students. And I loved every minute of it. I worked down at the corner, 2 blocks from Emmanuel, at Sprague's Dairy as a soda jerk, and saved my money, which was 45 cents an hour, to pay for candy and treats for my first grade class. I loved it. And 57 years later, I was still teaching, and I never got above the 3rd grade. And that is a very precious memory to me. Another one that I have many memories of is we started a bus ministry, and we had started out with 1 bus, and Chuck Welker was the head of the bus ministry. And before he gave it over to Ken Morris, we had 7 buses. But Emmanuel had no place to store those buses, so we rented what we called a bus barn on Dort Highway and stored our buses there. And every Saturday, Lucille and I, among several others, would walk the streets of east side of Flint, knocking on doors, inviting boys and girls to come to Emmanuel for Sunday school. And our ministry grew to one day we had 1,000 kids. It was a special event, but it was a magnificent event. And that was very precious. We had a parsonage next door to the church that we bought property, and it had 2 houses on it. One we used, as I said, for a parsonage for Reverend Bowen, and the other one we used for a primary department. They gutted the building and left just the bathroom and 1 big meeting room. We would have our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd graders, and we would have our opening, and then as soon as the opening was through, we would pull the curtains, which were heavy canvas curtains, and we would teach 1st, 2nd, and divided the boys and girls in the 3rd grade, so 4 classes in 1 big, huge room. And it was noisy, but it was what we did, and we enjoyed it. And my kids still remember going over to the little house that was called the primary house. And that was another one of my memories of Emmanuel Baptist Church. And may we always be like Matthew 5 says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." May we always stand for that. Thank you.